Boz Scaggs, welcome to Britain and welcome to the programme. Just a short visit, in fact, this time. How long are you in London?
Looks like a week or 10 days. Nothing specific right now. There are a number of things to do, and depending on how long it takes to do them.
Yeah.
I'm here to see you people and a few other people in your line of business, and to visit some booking agencies and explore the possibilities of some shows here in the next few months. And a number of friends here, and always plenty to do here. So I don't know. We could stay on for some time. I'd like to go south for some sun. I have a few weeks off, so.
Yeah. Let's go back in time, Boz, to the point where you moved from Dallas to San Francisco. I mean, at what point was that, in fact? How long ago was that?
I grew up around Dallas. Went to San Francisco first in 1967. From here, actually. I was living around Europe, in Stockholm, Scandinavia, and here. And I rejoined, Steve Miller in 1967 in San Francisco, and haven't really been back to Dallas since, except to play.
How did you meet up with Steve Miller originally?
We went to what's called high school in the States. Met Steve when I was 14 years old. We've been playing together for quite a long time. At that point, we worked together for a couple of years, and then in Dallas, we went to a university in Wisconsin in the States, and worked for another year and a half or so. Then I went one way, he went another, and we kept in touch with each other. And it was only in 1967, a few years after having gone here and there, that we rejoined to play in what was then the Steve Miller Blues Band.
Because I always found it interesting at that time, Boz, that you chose London to record Children of the Future. Why was that?
It had to do with initially we wanted to do an album that was somehow out of the general realm of what was being done around San Francisco. Steve was one of the last bands to actually sign a record contract out of the large number of groups that came out of that era and that city. And he'd done a great deal of planning and given a lot of thought to what he wanted to do as a concept for the album. And it involved things, studio techniques, whatever, that just weren't being done in San Francisco. And so it became a matter of going to big recording center like Los Angeles, New York, to get a pretty specialized kind of sound. And I don't know how the idea originally came up, but Steve's manager at that time and friend had come to London to explore the possibility of coming here and to take care of some other things related to that initial contract. And during his stay here, he met Glenn Johns, who was very active here with the Stones and other people, and the early Olympic studio scene. And he brought back the idea to us in San Francisco, and it seemed more and more like a good idea the more we considered it. In trying to give a special flavor, a special character to that first album, we thought we could accomplish some of the things here that we might not be able to accomplish there. Plus, give it somewhat a different or exotic kind of appeal.
Has San Francisco changed much, Boz, since those days?
San Francisco hasn't changed at all. San Francisco's a pretty solid kind of place. I'm not dodging the question. There was an important time in San Francisco that produced a lot of music, and a big big vibe came out of San Francisco that lingers on. The music scene, the people around have changed, and the attitudes have changed. I feel that the scene in San Francisco now is healthier than ever. All the people who were there, the people who were big in the San Francisco scene, the Airplane, the Dead, Quicksilver, I could go on and on.
Mm.
You know as well as I, the bands that came out of that period are still there. And along with them, there are other major artists, the Graham Nash, David Crosby's, Sly Stone, Buddy Miles, of course Steve Miller's still there, Michael Bloomfield, and on. The members of the original Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and there are a lot of musicians around, and it's a very, very healthy scene. And so whatever that spirit or spark is that generated that music a few years back lives very strongly here now. Plus it's become more sophisticated in terms of the studios that are available. And
because you came back to London yourself a couple of albums later, Boz, didn't you? The Moments album was recorded here. I mean,
it was recorded actually for the most part in San Francisco. We brought it back to London to do some overdubs and to mix it.
Were you looking really for the same kind of feel on that album that you got with Steve Miller on Children of the Future?
No, yes and no. The same kind of feel. I feel definitely there was I was working with Glenn Johns,
Yeah.
as I had with Steve Miller, and we agreed that the mixing facilities and the technical facilities here were much close to what we were looking for in that final mixing thing. I did an album just after the Moments album here in London, where I brought my entire band over, and I was looking for an element that I had found before in working here. That being, you get a sensation about being in London, about being in a different place. You're influenced by what is to us an exotic atmosphere. More flash, more direct, more sort of daring approach to music. You tend to go over the same patterns and go through the same processes when you're in your hometown, and you don't really see outside a particular concept. So in coming to London, we looked for that and found to a certain extent that element that you get here. I'm sure that you'll find English artists get the same kind of you get a flash, you get a buzz from being in New York or in San Francisco or Los Angeles, and it necessarily adds another facet, another side to what they're trying to do.
Because the albums really, Boz, each one kind of changes in a sense each time, doesn't it? I mean, the new one, for example, Slow Dancer Now, has very much a Motown kind of feel to it. I mean, again, were you looking for this specifically when you recorded it?
Every album for me is an experiment. The musical, the creative input on my part, as far as actually creating the songs, writing the lyrics, is in every case an experiment. I've surrounded myself and put myself in a different situation deliberately each time to find a common denominator, if you will, or just to do something I've always wanted to do, which is very much the case in this current album. It is very much a Motown-influenced work in several ways. Number one, I personally have been strongly influenced by having listened to Motown and dug it very much for these years. And secondly, I've patterned some of my work after the arrangements and after certain recording techniques and styles that these people have set forth. And it became possible for me to... They're all located in Los Angeles. Detroit has moved to Los Angeles. These musicians, the great bass player, the great drummer, the great arrangers and producers, all the elements that went into those great records and the records that remain current and at the vanguard of contemporary music. Marvin Gaye's album, the Diana Ross type albums, the Stevie Wonder albums. These elements are very much alive in the Motown spectrum of things in Los Angeles. So to me, it was an opportunity to work with some people who I've considered the geniuses of the business today.
Boz, I hope we do get the opportunity of seeing you performing
I would
soon
like
in this
very much
country.
to bring the band
Right.
over.
And thanks for coming in to speak
Thank
with
you.
us.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you very much.
Cut.
Just going to do a few little cutaways.
All right,
if you
okay.
could just look at each other for a moment without either talking, just as if you're listening to what the other one's saying. Yes.
Don't talk.
Don't let it worry you. Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's bullshit. I'm all right.
Where are you going to travel from England? Are you going to go on holiday for a few days?
I don't know. No plans. South. I don't know. You heard any nice places in the sun? Been to Italy? I'm looking for maybe a nice little seacoast in Italy.
In Italy.
Resort place in Italy. Perhaps. Just head south, kind of.
I tell you where I went a couple of years ago. I know it's going to sound strange, but it's a beautiful place, Corsica.
Yeah.
Very quiet and empty,
Mhm.
and the weather is beautiful, and the scenery is absolutely fantastic. It's a nice place to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Some friends of mine have just come back from, no, it's not seacoast, but they said it was interesting. Lake Como in the north of Italy. Do you know that?
Mm.